All right, let's get into Aravind Adiga's incredible novel, The White Tiger. This is a story that peels back the layers of modern India. But not the shiny version you see on postcards. No, this is a story told from the bottom up about what ambition really costs, and trust me, it gets dark.
Servant, philosopher, entrepreneur, murderer. I mean, just listen to those 4 words. They're the whole story, really. They describe our main character, Balram Halwai. So the question is, how on earth does one person end up being all of those things at the same time? Let's figure it out.
So the way this whole story is told is, well, it's pretty wild. It's all written as a series of letters over 7 nights. And he's not writing them to a friend or in a diary. Nope, he's writing to the premier of China, who's about to visit India. So meet our guy, Balram Halwai. He's now a big-shot entrepreneur in Bangalore, and he's writing because he thinks this Chinese premier needs to know what's really going on, not the polished PR version of India, but the raw, dirty story of how a half-baked fellow like him actually made it to the top. Now, to get Balram, you have to get how he sees the world. For him, it's simple. There are only 2 Indias. You've got the India of light, the coastal modern part with all the malls and call centers, and then there's the India of darkness. That's the rest of the country, where he comes from, a place of total corruption and old-school power. So how does this darkness keep people stuck? Well, Balram has this absolutely chilling metaphor for it, and it's really the heart of the whole book. He calls it the Great Indian Rooster Coop. Okay, picture this, a cage packed with chickens. They watch the butcher come, grab one of their brothers, and they can hear the squawk and smell the blood. But do they fight back? Never. They just wait their turn. Balram says that is the condition of the poor in India. It's not about the metal bars, it's about the bars in their minds, a cage of loyalty and fear that stops them from ever even thinking about escape. And Balram's own life? Man, it's a textbook example of this coup in action. He was the smartest kid in his village, a real white tiger they called him, something special. But did it matter? Nope. He's pulled out of school to go work. His only way out of the village, his one small step up, is to become a driver for the son of one of the corrupt landlords. But then he moves to Delhi with his boss, Mr. Ashok, and that's when his real education starts. He's basically invisible, and he learns everything about how the rich and powerful operate just by listening from the driver's seat of that car. And in Delhi, you see just how separate these 2 worlds are. Look at this. The masters are upstairs, sipping fancy whiskey and bribing politicians. The servants? They're living underground, drinking cheap booze and, get this, reading a magazine called Murder Weekly. It's like they're 2 different species, living on 2 different planets, but in the same building. I love this line from Balram. He calls the car a dark egg. Inside, his masters are in this air-conditioned bubble, totally separate from the heat and the chaos outside. And Balram? He's stuck right in the middle, driving the egg, but belonging to neither world. Okay, so the big question is, how do you break out of a prison like that? A prison that's mostly in your own head? Well, Balram is about to find out. And the answer, it's not pretty. The price of freedom is going to be incredibly high. The whole thing pivots on one single moment. One act of betrayal that is so total, it shatters everything Balram believed about being a good servant. It's the moment he realizes loyalty only goes one way. Here's how it goes down. His boss's wife, Pinky Madam, is driving drunk, and she hits someone. To save her skin, what does the family do? They try to force Balram to sign a confession saying he was the one driving. In that instant, they make it crystal clear. His life is worth nothing. He's just a tool they can throw away. And that's when it hits him. Moving to the city, the uniform, the salary, none of it meant anything. He was still a slave. The Rooster Coop wasn't just his village back home. It was the entire system, and he was still locked inside. Now here's the thing. The family actually manages to get out of the legal trouble, so they don't need his confession anymore. But it's too late. For Balram, a line has been crossed that he can never uncross. He's seen the truth, and so he makes a choice. He decides the only way out of the coop isn't to run, it's to kill the zookeeper. And in the book's most shocking moment, he murders Mr. Ashok, the one master who had actually shown him some kindness, with the jagged edge of a broken whiskey bottle. And it's not just murder. He also grabs the red bag his boss was carrying, a bag full of bribe money. Inside, 700,000 rupees.
That's his startup capital, his angel investment, if you will, paid for in blood. So, with a bag full of cash and a whole lot of blood on his hands, he flees to Bangalore, the heart of the India of light. And this is where he completes his transformation. I mean, just look at this journey. From a poor servant in a forgotten village to a driver in Delhi to a wanted fugitive, and then finally, a successful entrepreneur in India's biggest tech city. It is the most twisted rags to riches story you'll ever hear. And this is where it gets truly wild. What does he call himself? A shoke. He takes the name of the man he murdered, and with the stolen bribe money, he starts his own taxi business called White Tiger Drivers. He becomes a master himself. He's a predator now, perfectly adapted to the new jungle. So how does he sleep at night? Well, here's his justification. He doesn't see himself as a common criminal. Oh no. In his mind, he's like the Buddha. He's someone who has woken up to how the world really works, while everyone else is still asleep inside the Rooster Coop. His crime, to him, was an act of enlightenment. And that's the question the book just leaves hanging in the air, right? In a world that's so corrupt and brutal, was what he did the only logical way to get free? Is he a monster, or is he some kind of dark, twisted hero for a new India? The book, it doesn't give you any easy answers, and that's exactly what makes it so unforgettable.